Welcome to the Power of Greats. I'm your host, Matt Crane, and every single week I come to you right here on iTunes, SoundCloud, Stitcher Radio, iHeartRadio, and Pandora with one simple mission in mind. That's to help you recognize that your current situation is not your defining moment. This week we've got serial entrepreneur, founder of Real Estate Marketing University, an online media training company, Mr. Grant Wise in the Power of Great Studios. You know, Grant is known to be a maverick leader and an innovative marketing strategist, unafraid to lead companies in new directions. You know, 4 fun facts about Grant is he has one kidney, he's had 9 surgeries, he used to be a cowboy, and he's absolutely terrified of leprechauns. You know, one of the things that Grant says is, I'm not trying to be the most successful as much as I'm working to be the most valuable, which also leads me to say this about him. He's a very strategic asshole. Grant Wise, welcome to the Power of Great, my man.
My man, thank you. And thank you for the introduction.
Absolutely. You know, one of the things we talked just briefly about offline is you know, your home base is out of Arkansas, and you know, even though there's the big draw to the big city and the big lights, there's something to be said about taking your hometown and turning it into something bigger and better. So talk to us a little bit before we get into the meat of the interview about why home is so important to you and how it's really helped grow and mold you into the guy you are today.
Oh man, where do I begin? You know, home is where my family is first and foremost. So wherever they are, I'm cool. But I was raised here. I was born and raised where I'm at, and the people and the relationships that I've been able to develop are just next level. You know, we go out and we build relationships internationally. Currently, is it's what I'm doing, and I think that's what you're doing. And you know, to me now, nothing's ever going to be as great as what we've got right here in our hometown, and the people. The minds, you know, I'm right here in the home of Walmart and home of Tyson, home of George's, home of JB Hunt, home of Daisy. I'm the home of, you know, a few multi-billion-dollar corporations, and the relationships that I've been able to develop, you know, those that I've developed and lost, which sucks, but those that I've been able to develop and just keep and mold and nurture have been absolutely amazing. And I think that's one of the larger reasons that we'll continue to stay here. But, you know, there's something about it, you know, just like you said, just making wherever you are more beautiful, making wherever you are a little bit better than it was yesterday is something that's near and dear to my heart, and making a difference, it's just in the lives of the people that you surround yourself with. It's huge. I could sit here and riff and be sentimental about it, but whatever home is to you, you get what I'm saying. That's for sure.
Well, and I think, you know, the point that I see there is that with today's digital age and how everybody's connected across these fiber optic cables, if you will, you know, you can create a business wherever you are if you're willing to put in the time, the effort, and the dedication. And for me, when I talk to individuals that could have easily, you know, moved out of their hometown and moved to a big city and expanded their, you know, their opportunities there. You know, it says a lot for, you know, what you're able to do for your hometown and your community as well. So I commend that because, you know, I'm from a small town in Tennessee, and, you know, no one ever thought anything like this was possible in my hometown. And I like proving people wrong because I'm also, I don't know if I'm a strategic asshole, but I can say I'm an asshole. You know what I mean? So, you know, for me, Grant, one of the things that really drew me to you was the fact that, you know, you're not trying to be the most successful as you are trying to be the most valuable. That's a very profound statement because you hear the term success all the time. And yet most people fail to realize is that success is probably the most watered down word I've heard in such a long time, but the word value is not mentioned as much. So when you think in terms of value, you know, why is value so important to your success?
Oh, man, because it was given to me, you know, and I think I'm different than most, not that I'm an anomaly or anything like that, but I actually take action on the information that I receive. And, you know, so when people are out there, you got guys like Gary Vay that are just pouring it over people. if you're trying to sell information, I'm not the guy that you give it away to, because I'm going to use it. Now, 99.9% of the industry, 99% of the world, you can pour out value and they're never going to do anything with it until they value it themselves, which in turn typically means I'm going to pay you for your product or your program, because then I'll actually do something with it. I woke up one day and my life was bankruptcy. I woke up one day and my life was lost relationships. I woke up one day and my life was hell. And if it wasn't for the value that I was able to extract from the internet, from people, dude, it was game over. And I woke up one day and said, nobody will ever feel like I feel right now if they would just listen to what I have to say. And I live that out every single day. You know, a mentor of mine, he asked me, I think it was like a year ago, he's like, man, how you doing? I was like, dude, if I could just bottle up the way I feel right now and sell it, I'd be a billionaire. and I sat back and thought about that for a second. I was like, you know what? Actually, I can. Like, I just got to go talk. I just got to go out there and distribute. I just got to go out there and get in front of people and let them hear the message of just destruction. But let them also see that life can be drastically different if you just take action in the right direction. And I wake up every day and I don't want people to feel like I did. And that's why I pour out so much value at every single opportunity, because if somebody can take one thing that I said, they could take one thing, one shift, one, like anything, and use it, and it makes a difference in their life, it might save them. And I don't know what it's going to save them from, but it could be from bankruptcy. It could be from destruction. It could be from divorce. It could be from relationships. It could be from anything. But, you know, if somebody can listen to one thing that I got to say and it makes a difference, then, you know, that's worth more than money, my man. God exists, and it's not in monetary value. It's in the just the soul, the life of people that you can change. It's profound, for sure.
Well, you know, I believe, first of all, it's a phenomenal story, and I know we could spend a whole hour on just that. But, you know, I believe in that people get paid in three ways. You get paid in money, you get paid in opportunity, and you get paid in referability. And I think that money's the third of all those. I think opportunity comes first, referability comes second, and then money comes third. But, you know, while I don't believe that people have a defining moment, because I personally feel that every waking day is a new day for me to define something different, I do think that people have those moments where the line is kind of drawn in the sand. Do I go here or do I go here? And, you know, I heard you when you said the word bankruptcy, like it wasn't just a word to you. Like I could tell that your whole inner being resonated with that whole term. So walk us through that particular moment and let us know, at what point did you realize that there was no turning back, even though you were bankrupt, that there was no turning back from the path that you were on?
I was born with it. You know, I think entrepreneur is a sexy word right now, but a lot of people are trying to achieve something that they can't. And it's not that like you can't, right? But I think anybody could be a business owner, but entrepreneurship is a DNA strand. Entrepreneurship is something that you're programmed with from birth. Look, I had one real job and I had it for 2 weeks, and I couldn't justify exchanging my time for money. I walked away with like $160 paycheck, and I was like, okay, well, that's only going to happen once. I don't know, man. I was born with it. I always knew that I was value. I always knew that I had value to give, and I think it came from that lack of care of what anybody thought. But that, you know, that wasn't even developed until after bankruptcy, because I had that perceptive mindset for a long time. But I always knew, like, just the confidence was there. And I think it was because of the way that I've been programmed from birth. Like, I just had it. Entrepreneurship wasn't something that I was going out there to achieve because it was a buzzword or because it was, you know, what was cool. It was the only thing that ever made sense to me. When I was going bankrupt, I was in some debts. I pissed some people off. I ruined some relationships. I still knew the value. And people were like, dude, you just need to go get a job. Like, go work at a car lot or something. You'll make bank. That's like, just why don't you go do that? It's like, what the fuck are you talking? Like, sorry, what are you talking about? Like, that doesn't even make sense. Why would I go get a job and exchange my time for money? I just need to go sell something. I need to create something. I need to put something out there that people are going to fall in love with. And if I could do that, if I could just package something that people will change people's lives, like, it's game over. Like, it's done. And so I knew that through all the muck and the mud and all that stuff that, it was a diamond in the rough. I just knew my value. And I never lost sight of that. I think Mr. Eric Thomas definitely had something to do with it. My faith definitely, absolutely, had a lot to do with it. But I refused to listen to the people that said I was shit. Because there were a lot of them, and there was a lot of opportunity for me to say, you know what, I am shit, and I just need to go do something else. But I refused, absolutely refused. I knew that I had something. I knew that I had something to give, and I never quit believing that.
I love that, and I love the transparency there, because at the end of the day, I think the term entrepreneurship gets lost in the fact that the underscore to entrepreneurship is heartache, is desperation, is struggle. And what most people don't know is that I've made some amazing relationships during my journey, but I've also lost as many relationships as I've gained, because when a business fails or an opportunity fails or a partnership fails, you also lose that side of it as well from a relationship standpoint. But what I think identifies entrepreneurs from workers is that there's no quit in us. It's like, all right, you know what? That's one of those. I got knocked down. I had to get the 8 count. I maybe lost a point on the scorecard, but hey, ding, ding, it's round 10. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk a little bit about, you're coming from the construction industry, and, you started to learn all the aspects of the home building process. At what point did you wake up and say, you know what, I want to build the brokerage firm, and even go a step further and start teaching the concepts?
I was forced into it. I didn't really have a choice, right? I came back from college. I went to play baseball a little bit, tore my elbow up, had 3 surgeries in 2008. I was like, okay, well, baseball's taking a little bit more than I'm ever going to get back. So let's do something different. And I came back home. My parents, I was 19 when all this was happening. I was very young. And my parents said, you're never going to amount to anything if you don't go to college. And, that whole spiel, none of which went to college. So I failed history 2 consecutive semesters. Like, I had no business being in a classroom. None of it made sense. Like, no, I'm not book smart. Like, I'm not. Like, it is what it is. I understand my gifts and I understand my weaknesses 1,000%. And so I said, okay, I got to do something different. So my father at the time, he owned a construction company, and I'd grown up in real estate and development, and he fell off of a ladder, hurt himself really bad. And I said, I'm going to step in. I'll take over your business. I'll pay you 50% on everything we do. You just, let's do it. And so they agreed. And I think I sent him 2 checks, and I was like, well, this is stupid. So I offered to buy the company, and, we worked it all out, pennies at the time. And, if I was smart, dude, I probably would have just kept doing what I was doing, because I played golf 5 days a week, and then I did a construction project on Saturday, and that paid all my bills, and I was gravy. But the mindset, something clicked one day, and I was like, I could get more of this. I could get more of this freedom. I could get more of this life. And so I started, it was a gutter installation company that he had owned. And so I started a roofing company, kind of like 8 months, 12 months into, my business life. And I went from $56,000 in sales to $826,000 in revenue in less than 12 months. So I'm this 21-year-old kid. I grew up in a garage. I slept on a couch most of my life. We had a king-size bed. I shared it with my brother. And I didn't grow up with any financial sense. None. I didn't grow up with anybody saying, hey, dude, this is how you balance a checkbook even. Like, it was bad. And so I'm this 21-year-old kid. I just pocketed $186,000. And so guess what I did, right? I acted like a 21-year-old kid. I spent it frivolously. I made mistakes. I drank a lot. I bought stuff I didn't need. I went on trips I didn't need to go on. And guess what? That creates some shit storms. And so then I said, you know what? I just got to start more companies. Like, I'm really good at that. Like, I'll just start more businesses. That makes sense. Dumb. And so I start 4 more businesses, all specialized in certain aspects of construction. And we went that year and did $1.2 million in revenue the next year and lost money. I was bleeding cash flow from payroll. I was taking losses on construction projects that I couldn't afford. And it was just one bad thing after another, one dumb decision after another. And I think I was 22 or 23. I said, my grandfather came to me and he said, hey, let's start a real estate company. And so we created a brokerage. It was a 100% commission-based model. And we were growing like really fast. So the real estate company was in 6 markets in 6 months. It was really expanding. But my construction business continued to decline because I wasn't giving it the attention it deserved. I was losing money. I was pissing people off. And I was just making foolish mistake after foolish mistake. And so it wasn't long. And it's like, hey, it's D-Day. It's bankruptcy time. You know, I've got a lot of debt. Starting to get in some legal battles that are not going to end well for me. I have no choice. And it was terrible because I had to live with the fact, and still do, that people did stuff for me and weren't compensated. People helped me and weren't returned the favor. And I have to live with that regret. I had to live with that life lesson, which was a hard pill to swallow. I can't tell you what I did to try and avoid bankruptcy. It was like, I don't want to let these people down. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this. In hindsight, I should have done it much sooner. I should have accepted the losses much sooner, but I was so romantic about business. And that's a certain life lesson that you have to learn not to be. So my partners that I brought into this real estate company, brought in 6, 7 people to help finance the business and help grow it. They came to me and they said, Grant, we think that you're the reason that this business isn't growing the way that it could. And we want you to leave. Your reputation's just gotten too bad and we don't want you around anymore. So I'm like, what? Like, what do you mean? I just dedicated 2 years of my life to this business I've not taken a paycheck from. And like, you guys own my blood, sweat, and tears. Like, what's going on? And so I was left with a couple of options. I could fight it because I own 51% of the business. I could say, no, you guys get out of here. I'm going to keep doing my thing. Or I could accept it. And I sat back and I said, you know what? I am the youngest person in this company by 3 times my age. Nobody appreciates my mind. Nobody's listening to what I've got to say about growth. I'm out. I'm done. And so I'll never forget it. August 13th, 2014. Like, what in the hell am I going to do with my life now? Like, this is all I had. This is all I know. This is the love of my life for 2 years. And so I sat back. I said, you know what? I'm going to teach people how to do what I've been trying to teach them all along. I'm going to teach real estate agents how to grow their business using social media. And so I created some marketing and I put out a Facebook ad. I had $25 to my name. My wife often jokes she's the one that loaned me the $25. And within a week, I got a $1,000 client. Okay. And so I understood a few things. Hey, dude, I can buy clients for $25. Like, my acquisition cost is low. And my first client that I ever had, I'll never forget her for the rest of my life. She took my advice and she sold 18 houses in 90 days. She then went on to sell over 48 houses her first year in real estate. And everybody that I continued to work with that first year, 1-to-1, was 6 figures in like 8 months. And just like bang, 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 everybody. And so I took that and packaged it and created some training platforms so that we could serve more people. And, to date, we've got into the thousands of clients and we're helping people build a life and build a business. And, it's amazing. But as you can see, my story is not sunshine and roses. Like, it's hard life lessons. But like I said before, I wake up every day and say, okay, how can I change somebody else's life today? And that's a driving force in my why. We were forced into it, but it was the best thing that ever could have happened. These were the best life lessons. Bankruptcy sucks, but you know what? It was the greatest life lesson because now I'm great with money. I made it my mission to master that stuff. I'm great with relationships because I know how hard it is. Like, look, guys, I'm being authentically real with you right now. People helped me and then died. And I'll never, ever, ever, ever get that back. I got to live with that. And so you know what that means? That means that the next relationship isn't getting what the last one got. They get the love, they get the passion, they get the fire, they get all of my energy. I'm going to go 110% because of what I've lost in the past and the lessons that I had to learn the hard way. Not to get sentimental here, but there's some hard things that you can learn in life, and as an entrepreneur specifically. But if you learn them and you commit to using the information, using the education, your life can be drastically different, just like that.
Well, and I think too that first of all, what an amazing story, and I really appreciate you sharing that with us and our audience, and I think that's what gets lost. Social media allows you to put all the glitz and glamour, and allows you to have all the great filters and fancy music, and you're able to create this kind of vision that everything's fine. I can remember a time 2 years ago when I was launching this journey. Look, I'd never written a book. I didn't have a product. Nobody even knew who the heck I was. I had $50 to my name in my bank account, and I remember buying a Grant Cardone product called How to Make Millions on the Phone because I knew how to sell. I knew that I knew how to sell. And things changed. But, man, I was losing family members. My wife hated me. I was not seeing my kid. Like, there was just all these things that was going on in my life. And it was so easy for me to quit. Like, all the signs were quit and go get a stable job. Like, they were there. But, talk to us a little bit about, how you were able to fight that moment of knowing that, well, everybody's against me and nobody likes me and nobody's listening to me. You know what? Screw it. I'll just go get a normal job. Did you ever have those thoughts, or was it just one of those things where you're like, no, you know what? Entrepreneur's it, and people are just going to have to deal with it. I'm in the game for the long haul.
It's the only thing that ever made sense. Like, even still, like I can't tell you how many people are like, Grant, you're an idiot. Like, you're stupid. You're a terrible business person. You're horrible. You're a horrible human being. You suck at life. You're just on and on and on and on and on. And I'll never forget, I was having lunch with my brother one time, and he was like, man, people hate your guts. I was like, so what? And he was like, well, you don't care? I was like, no. Why should I? These people don't know my value. And I think Eric Thomas says it best. You got to go where you're appreciated. And if you can find that avenue, you can find that place, your greatness will be revealed. Go where you're appreciated, not where you're tolerated. And that's an ET quote that I just live by. And so I said, it just never made sense. People said, go get a job. And it's like, should I listen to them? No, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I thought these people wanted to help me. It's like, why are they giving me this terrible advice? It just never made sense. I don't know if it was programming or what. Like, I've been an athlete my entire life. I've known nothing but going out there and putting in the work and competing, which is why I've excelled in every sport that I've played. I got a little college baseball opportunity, all state. And I just committed to doing the work and knew that if I just never stopped working, if I never stopped hustling, like truly hustling, not fake 60, 80 hours a week of scrolling Facebook for selfies, like if I actually just did the work, if I grinded. I tell people I used to be a cowboy. Like, I grew up on a ranch. My stepfather was one of the greatest influences I ever had in my entire life. He taught me how to work. And most times we were working for food. Like, come help me on the ranch and I'll take you out to a nice dinner. It's like, well, what about some money, man? Like, I want to go watch a movie or something. No, like we just worked. He'd kick in the door at 6, 7 a.m. This ain't no gosh damn winter resort. Get up. Like, it's time to go work. Let's go patch fence. Let's go do this. Let's go break animals. Let's go do what we need to do. I would say it was he had a lot to do with that. From the beginning of time, it was the coaches, it was the mentors, it was the people that I looked up to that did me the greatest service and that helped instill that belief that, dude, Grant, you're solid. You've got it. You just got to keep working for it. Because if you never stop, I'll never forget a guy named Andy. I was soliciting to invest in my business so I wouldn't go bankrupt. And he's like, I'm not going to do that, but you're going to be a millionaire. You're going to be whatever it is that you want to be. Just keep working. Just keep your nose to the ground and keep moving, because one day you're going to look up and you're going to be like, holy shit. And I just followed that advice. All I've ever known was hard work. I just applied it in the right areas of life. And no matter what anybody told me, just kept going. And if you do that, no matter what situation you're in right now, if you keep going, you will get to where you want to be.
Well, our stories are, man, like eerily familiar. I'm an athlete. I was all state in 3 sports, went to college and played baseball, had an opportunity to go further, snapped my right ankle. I have a plate 9 screws in my right ankle. But when I tell you, man, that like I never worried about being liked by anybody, I never worried about being liked by anybody. My mission was this. I wanted to be the best at anything and everything. So, and for most people, true blue entrepreneurs, that's how they look at their life and their business. So, switching gears, the university that you have, this online platform, kind of walk us through a little bit of that and what real estate agents now, is it only for agents or is it for investors as well? Or kind of walk us through your program.
So our core program, what built us, is a program called Modern Agent Mastery. And we teach real estate agents how to leverage Facebook advertising to build and scale their business. And from that, and from kind of being out there in recruiting and being in the industry for quite some time now, you grow to learn what the core issues of people's problems are, especially as it relates to real estate agents. Look, business is business, marketing is marketing, sales is sales. It doesn't change. It just, there's different applications based on whatever kind of business you're trying to grow. And so we said, okay, what's the first problem that real estate agents have? Leads, right? And I think that's every business owner. I need leads. And so we sought to create a program, to create a strategy to help people grow their business. And we just put tenacious focus into helping real estate agents do one thing: generate leads from Facebook. That's all I did for the last couple of years. That's the only thing that we did. And we built a multi-million-dollar company from that. People think you got to go out there and do all of these different things, and you don't. You just have to focus. And that's directly for real estate agents too. Like, niche down, understand there are different profit pillars in the industry. Pick one and go all chips. Just focus on doing that one thing. And so we help people generate leads using Facebook ads. And then the second problem that we've found that real estate agents have is that they don't know how to close deals, most of which it's not Zillow's fault. It's not Realtor.com's fault. It's not Trulia's fault. Some people argue that point, and I'm cool. But you got to learn how to close deals. Like, you got to know how to close. I was like you. I was born with that innate ability to convert people into relationships, into clients, into sales. And we just took everything that I've learned along my journey. My father grew up in the car industry for 30 years. He just took all of those conversion lessons and packaged them into a program called Relentless, where we teach people how to be relentless. Converting leads online is a relentless process. And that's what we teach within the university. And then we grew to understand that the next problem that a real estate agent had was that they would get leads, they would convert clients, and they would become incredibly unorganized. You've got these rock stars out there making hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, and they're working 60, 80 hours a week. They never get to spend time with their family. It's rush. It's wake up at 5 a.m., go to bed at midnight, do it all over again. You don't really understand what you accomplished. So we sought to teach people how to organize and structure their business in an overly simple way so that they could grow and scale. Lauren Taylor's one of my just model students. She was that exact story. She was making $300K a year, what most agents would kill for. She was working 60, 80 hours a week, and she was ready to quit. She's like, I'm done. This is not worth it at all. And came in, listened, used some simple organizational strategy, and she went from making $300 a year to 400 plus in less than a year. And she was working about 30 hours a week, 20 to 30 hours a week. Same, just a little bit more money, less time. So she went from being worth $75 an hour to $75 or $750 an hour, and just continues to scale that up. So a lot of really good organizational lessons in a program we call the Organized Agent. And then we have a program we call the Foundation. The last problem that we really saw most agents have is they don't really understand the structure that exists in business and marketing and sales, and how to put a model in place that will allow them to grow and scale their agency, grow their team, grow their solo agency, whatever it is that they're working to accomplish, solo agent working to grow their business, whatever structure that looks like, really helping people understand what type of model to put in place, and not just how to build a business, but how to build a life. The Foundation is an amazing program that equips people with both the education to build a life that they've always wanted to live, and a business as an engine to get them there. And we package that as Real Estate Marketing University, and each course stands on its own, right? You can become a subscriber to the university, which gives you access to content, gives you access to marketing content, real action strategy, how to grow your business using organic traffic. It doesn't give you access to all of our courses, but it does help you understand how you can get started, how you can grow your business from start to finish, from a marketing standpoint, at least. And then, if somebody wants to join any of our other courses, any of our other programs, they have the option to do so. But we just packaged it. I was laying on the couch one night and I was like, man, I want to create a place where people can come. I want to create like an institution. And I was like, well, I wonder if Real Estate Marketing University is available on GoDaddy. And so like, that's how I came up with the name. I was like, wait, it's available for $8. Like, why has nobody grabbed this? Ding, I'm going to buy that. And I think I spent the next 6 months making sure I spelled Real Estate Marketing University right on GoDaddy. But we took that and we just took that vision, and it's really blossomed into, something amazing. We get to help real estate agents internationally fix problems they're having in specific parts of their business. And we just focus all of our energy on doing that. I think that I could easily go into different sectors, different industries, but, I choose to stay focused right here in the real estate industry because we're having a huge impact and, we can make a real difference. But yeah, that's a little backstory on it. That's what each program is, and that's what the university is all about.
Well, it's such right on time because in the state of Tennessee, we're a booming economy state, for automotive, for industrial, and we have over 29,000 real estate agents just in the state. So when you talk about Facebook advertisements and how real estate agents can utilize social media to stand out in a noisy marketplace, have you noticed some big missteps that agents have made when trying to utilize, let's just say Facebook, for instance, to try to market a home that they're trying to sell or maybe market them as a brand? What are some common mistakes you see agents making? I
think it depends on the level that they're at, but new agents coming to me talking about brand doesn't make any damn sense. How much money do you have in your brand bank account? Because when you're building a brand, you got to be prepared to spend some dollar, spend some coin, and not see any original return, any initial return. You're making an investment for the future, making an investment in a name like this R on my hat. Like, how much money do you have to spend out there right now? And most agents don't have any. Most agents in their very first year in real estate make less net than $8,000. Does anybody, if you're listening, just a fun fact, your local garbage truck man makes $52K a year. Just so you know. And most agents in their third year net less than $18,000. These numbers are astounding, and it stems from the education that they're not getting, right? Most brokers now today built a business 5 years ago, 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Things are drastically different today than they were 6 months ago. We are evolving as a society faster than anything I've ever seen in my entire life. Most agents are still working the traditional angle. We can sit here and talk about social media, but most people are still underutilizing it. And then when they do, they come out and say, okay, I'm going to put out this post and I'm going to get all the likes and the comments and the shares, and I'm going to grow my business that way. Understand when you're doing that it's an organic strategy, and it takes 6 months. It takes 6 months, like solid 6 months of consistent daily action to begin to build up a business organically like that. Hell, it takes 3 years to build a new business. In any industry that you look at, you need to be prepared to dedicate 3 to 5 years of your life to no income, stress, hard work, dedication, hustle, and everything in between. And so I think patience, obviously, is something that agents don't execute on. We live in a society that thirsts that immediate gratification, like lives on it, and it just doesn't exist. Real estate happens 3 months at a time. So even by the 6th month, when you've gotten enough likes, comments, and shares to grow your business, you're still not going to get paid for another 45 to 90 days. Like, understand it takes a little bit of time. The reason that I wanted to teach people how to leverage paid traffic was because it's an immediate gain. You're going to get 1 to 3% of the leads that you generate, you're going to be able to convert on if you know how to close deals, and you're going to build up a pipeline that you've never even seen before. 500 leads, 1,000 leads, 1,500 leads. You're going to build up a database. People talk about sphere of influence, which is why they call it their friends and family when they get in real estate. You can't build an SOI that fast. People talk about referrals. You can't build a referral network as fast as social media can provide you, as fast as that database can help you. The client that I talked about that I helped sell 18 houses in less than 90 days, she doesn't even use Facebook anymore because her referral business, she makes $60,000 a month. So I think, understand the strategy, understand the game that you're playing, and stop seeking the immediate gratification, and understand that likes, comments, and shares don't always end up in your bank account. You know, at the end of the day, like I'm working really hard this year to become a major social influencer. I am. And those likes, comments, and shares matter to me, but it's because I now have money to build a brand. Well, I wasn't worried about building a brand when I got kicked out of my company and I needed to sell product. I needed sales, dude. Like, you're a salesman if you're watching this. If you're seeing this video right now, like, look in my eyes, you're a salesman. You absolutely better embrace that fact. Just go ahead and get out of the industry right now because you're dead. You're done. If you do not understand how to strategically market your business and sell, it's done. You're over. Go be a buyer's agent. Go run paperwork. You'll make more money working for somebody else, and you'll still get to stay in the industry. Best of both worlds. I'm not trying to be harsh. It's just like, this is the fact. This is the reality that you need to wake up to. Like, this takes time. But leveraging paid traffic cuts down that timeline, because I know that any one of my clients that comes into my business today, within 72 hours, they're going to have leads in their business. And then the timer starts. Then, okay, 45 days to close. Then, you know, you're getting 8 to 12 new opportunities a day to go out and change somebody's life, instead of cold calling, door knocking, sending out expired mail, sitting in Starbucks with your stupid little sign that says, I'm a real estate agent. Come talk to me. Come talk to me. Sorry if I'm hurting your feelings, but like, look, dude, you just need to wake up. Like, you've got to understand the strategy that exists today, the strategy that's right there in front of your face, that's staring you down, and be patient to the process. So I think that was like 100 different things I recognized, but patience, number one. And two, like, if you're going to run your business organically, just understand it takes time. It takes time to build that up. It takes time, it takes consistent effort. It just takes that relentless, never quit, I got money to live on for the next few months attitude. If you're going to run paid traffic, understand how to sell, understand how to convert leads into clients, and you're going to have new opportunities every day, and you get to focus your time and energy on those instead of out there chasing business. They don't create the inbound systems. You know, people will go out and they'll boost their posts so that they can get likes, comments, shares because they've got this brand mindset. Guess what? It takes time to build a brand. I'm about building systems. Inbound systems, machines. I know that if I put $1 in the Facebook ad machine, guess what? It's going to spit out a return. Just like you go invest in the stock market. My clients, I was talking to one of my legacy students yesterday, which is our mastermind, and she was upset because her business wasn't growing, at least so she thought, right? She's looking at the day-to-day. And I said, why don't you step up into the clouds with me for a second? Let's have a conversation. So how much did you invest in marketing this year? And she said, about $2,100. Okay, great. How much did that money make you? And she said, well, we calculated it was like $38,000 and some change. I said, okay, do you know a guy named Warren Buffett? And she said, yeah. And I said, okay, Warren Buffett can't make you 1,400% return on your money. Do you understand that? And she was like, oh. I said, so let's look at your business. Let's spend twice that. Guess what? We made almost over $70,000. Let's spend 3 times that. Guess what? We cleared 6 figures. Let's spend 4 times that. Spend $10,000 this year and you're going to pocket $155,000 in income. These are the metrics that exist in your business. This is what just happened over the last year. I'm about creating that type of system because real estate right now, agents specifically, and investors have a huge opportunity right now as well, but real estate agents specifically, if you understand that you can put $1 into an advertising engine and it's going to spit back a well over 1,000% ROI right now, we are living in the single greatest time to build a business in human history. From an advertiser standpoint, we are living with one of the single greatest platforms to advertise on in human history. The data that we get access to right now for literally pennies. Like you can access the data for free, but to use it, literally pennies. These returns just haven't existed, in a long time. You can go out there and you can pay with time, and you can go out there and you can pay with money. Who do you think is going to be more wealthy per hour? Like, put an engine in place that produces the result that you want. And that's a huge mistake that agents make. But again, I'm not trying to sit here and bash you guys over the head. It's not necessarily your fault because you're listening to what your brokers say. The unfortunate fact is brokers built businesses year, 2, 4, 5, 10 ago, and it's just not relevant information anymore.
Yeah, well, I think you brought up two great points in that. And number one is that, by the year 2019, 75% of all advertising dollars are going to be spent on mobile marketing. So the big key there is that real estate agents have to go where the business is. That's an industry where they have to be always going to the business. The market's not coming to them, because real estate agents are a dime a dozen. So I think that that's a great point that you brought up. Number two, though, is that it's really the work smart, not harder model. It's that, hey, you're going to put the same amount of money, if not more, into creating 7,000 signs that you're going to put up all over the town, when you could take that same avenue, put the money into Facebook advertisement, and guess what happens? The business now, you're really hacking the system. The business is coming to you.
Right.
So that's a great point, And so, Grant, where can real estate agents and individuals that are looking to get more on the marketing university and you in general, where can they go find out more about you and how they could possibly do business with you?
You can go, one central place is my website. You go to likegrantwise.com, L-I-K-E, grantwise.com. You're going to learn a little bit more about me, and you're going to learn a lot more about some of the programs that we offer, you're going to learn about the university. And then you can also go to realestatemarketinguniversity.com. And it's more of a training platform, but you'll be able to see the variants of programs that we have to offer and the ways that, we as an organization can help, real estate agents grow their business.
I love it. I love it. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Grant Wise joined us on The Power of Great. Absolutely delivered the goods. If you're in the real estate industry, I got to tell you, just hearing the passion in his voice as he talked about what he's doing for his clients and how he created his business, I got to tell you, don't move past this gentleman without visiting likegrantwise.com or realestatemarketinguniversity.com. Definitely go to IamMattCrane.com as well, and we'll have those links up on our show notes when the episode with Grant goes live. But I always leave you guys and gals with this. Success is never measured by what you step out of, rather by what you're truly committed to step into. And I thank you every single week for allowing me to be your host right here on The Power of Great.